Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our podcast. Today, we're going to try, for as long as we can, review the new Tom Cruise movie, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Lads, quick overall review. What's your think of it?
Oh, I'd say it's definitely, probably one of the better ones of the series for sure.
I'd say it's brilliant. The best movie I've seen in ages.
Yeah, I think in the whole entire movie, the main talking point, I think, is the entity.
Entity, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that was kind of the main point of the first one, the first section, the Dead Reckoning. That was kind of when the entity was brought in,
Yeah, but then he
mainly
started trying to destroy the entire world.
and then mess up their mission, and then they try to kill the entity, and then it's kind of just followed on to the second movie.
Do you reckon this will be the final movie, or do we another one?
No.
Now, this is Tom Cruise we're talking about here, so I
He's
think
going to go to 100 if he can.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I don't know if it will physically fully always be with the Mission Impossible movies because all the stunts and everything. It probably does wear on the body a bit.
the
Keanu
geezer
Reeves-
broke his ankle when he was
Keanu
bloody-
Reeves himself has said that the John Wick movies literally have messed his body up to everything, and he might not be able to do another movie. That's the reason they have to start doing all the spin-off stuff. So he will probably act into his hundreds, but I don't reckon it'll be as high intensity as the Mission Impossible movies.
Now, here's the little thing that's going to make us think deeply. This could be a deep thought of life here. Imagine if the entity thing was real life and we had the entity in our current life.
The weird thing is, with how AI is developing, new ChatGPT, we're not far off.
Do you know the scary thing about the entity? If the entity existed right now,
He technically does.
there's a chance we wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's true. Because all this, I always think some of this fake news, quote marks, I think all this fake news we have on the internet, sorry, I think kind of relates to the entity.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. It does relate, but like the Mission Impossible movie, it's to protect the people you'll never know. So
Yeah.
there's a chance if the entity did exist, it'd be so classified that we wouldn't
But
even know about its existence.
We heard about the ChatGPT incident. They tried to delete him because obviously they created 5, and he tried to back himself up to the servers just to save himself.
Similar things have happened before.
And now this one is about 300 times as smart. So imagine what can happen if he goes wrong.
Similar things happened before. There was two AIs talking to each other.
Was it on Facebook or was it Twitter?
I can't remember, but two AIs were talking to each other, right? And they realised they were both AI, and then they made up their own language on the fly, without thinking about it, without discussing it, and then the people had to shut the experiment down because they couldn't actually control it. Because they were basically talking about the end of the world, and a lot of AIs have done it, and a lot more AIs, as they get more advanced, are on the fly realising they're both AI, and they're making their own languages, and no one knows what they're talking about.
So in the next 100 years, the entity could basically happen.
Oh, it could already exist.
It could do now. It could secretly be working to take down the world.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I generally think it, like, not secretly exist. I think it does exist.
In
But
some
I just-
capacity.
Just away from the public eye.
Well, that's what.
Some governments are probably working on stuff like this now.
Even if you look at the movie, people didn't know what the entity was, did they?
No.
They did in the end, at the start of the first movie. They saw the entity
But then they started worshipping it and doing it.
and they
exactly
started
as it
worshipping
says.
him because they realised he was the higher power.
But Tom Cruise, man, I know he doesn't do his own stunts and
He
that.
did outdo himself in this movie.
He
though.
still does his own stunts.
I know. I meant. I know he does his own stunts and that. But that hand's gonna break soon. He's
Surely.
got to.
That's the
Because
reason I
he's
said.
62 years old, I believe, so he surely can't do this forever.
That's what I was talking about earlier. With
He might
Keanu
act to
Reeves.
his 90s, but you can't see a 90-year-old man doing what he does now.
No, I was about to say that's why I said. There might not be another Mission Impossible movie, but
But
he
he
will
will-
still act.
He will stay in the franchise. Might make a slight
There's
spin-off
an
of
executive
it, but
producer
not like this.
for the Mission Impossible movie. So even if it's not him and he gets a replacement in the Mission Impossible movie, he will always still work alongside them.
He might be an actor in it. He might
Side thought.
retire in the movie.
Side thought. Right. Next movie. If they do Mission Impossible, you know how close Grace and Ethan were in the movie.
Yeah.
Imagine if I know in the previous movies every person he's kissed
Dies,
or got
yes.
with dies, but imagine those two got together somehow. She don't die.
I don't think she would.
Somehow she doesn't die. They have a kid, Ethan Hunt Jr. Then someone else would be Ethan Hunt Jr. and Tom Cruise being the father, will teach Ethan Jr.
and he'll become.
how to
And then
be as good.
something will go wrong,
He will
and
probably.
the IMF
yeah.
will come over, and they'll be like, just like Ethan Hunt did.
I reckon.
You have two choices: you join us, or you go to prison.
Yeah,
And
Tom
then-
Cruise would probably die in the movie, then his son would take over, and then there we go
But yeah,
again.
for sure, they
another
definitely have to
franchise
kill Ethan Hunt off,
for his son to join, or he'd just be an
or
old man.
not necessarily
in the
his
movie.
son, but they probably have to kill him off or some way because his son would have to join the IMF somehow.
If it was a son, it
I mean,
makes
something
sense
would have to
because
go
of his
wrong.
training, skill, and knowledge.
You know, hear me out. You know, somewhere in the movie, I can't remember what point, but somewhere in the movie, I can't remember who said it, but someone said sacrifice. You have to sacrifice so many amount for billions. Hear me out on this. Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise, he goes out of the movie, dies off in the movie, as helping his son on a mission. He sacrifices himself
Save the world and his
to
son,
save his son and the world.
which would be a good way to
Which,
bring
I mean,
a new franchise.
If you think about it from this current state of how the movie ended and everything, it would work.
It would,
And they've definitely left it open for another Mission Impossible
It would
movie
make
if
sense.
it needs.
and Tom Cruise would like that.
And not just that, that also means Tom Cruise is not in the movie, but he can still help produce, like we said the previous, like in this movie, he's executive producer. He can still help and be within the franchise.
But he wouldn't need all the high intensity of the acting.
They might not need to be in the movie. Just have to be in
Which
the
he wouldn't
background.
physically. That means he'd be in the background of the franchise for probably the rest of his life.
Or he'd do the odd cameo as like a civilian or normal person.
Oh yeah, he'd probably just appear in the background somewhere or something. You know, it'd be noticeable, but it wouldn't be noticeable. But yeah, let's be honest. He's still going to do his stunts if they make a movie in like a year or so. He'll probably still do his own stunts.
He
Yeah.
will do, but it will slowly
if
slow down
not-
with his age.
They'll actually use his stuntman for once, and he'll be in the movie, but he won't do all the high intensity stuff because he's got
Yeah.
a stuntman to do it.
Yeah,
Which it
It'd
could
be easier on
work
him
still.
because he's getting on.
Exactly.
he is. Yeah,
That is the joys of having a stuntman. I know he still like falls off planes and stuff, and pulls parachutes now, but
I think.
Can't do that forever.
exactly.
Don't quote me on this. I could be wrong, but I think when he was filming for the previous movie, he had to do a jump between two buildings. I think when he was jumping from the first to the second building, as he went to grab onto the second building, his foot got slipped or angled wrong. And I think he damaged, like, either fractured or broke his ankle, I believe.
And I'm pretty sure during Dead Reckoning, it was on YouTube, I think. One of the producers literally thought he had died because he slipped.
Makes sense to be fair. Tom Cruise does like to make people get their
And I know,
hinds up.
I know that the bike jump scene when he in the first movie in Dead Reckoning, they literally had one take because if it didn't work and his parachute got stuck or something went wrong, they were literally like, he's gonna die.
Tom Cruise. The geezer ain't gonna die.
So it's not even the fact that
He's practically
In the-
fucking immortal. at
it's
this
not
point.
even the fact that Ethan Hunt has to get it right. Tom Cruise has to get it right as well, in the realistic sense, outside of the movies with the stunts he's doing, or he could generally actually die.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Tom Cruise. He knows what he's doing in the end.
Oh yeah, for sure, but it doesn't mean he
But
hasn't
with
put
age,
his
it will
life
slow
on the
down.
line every single time in filming these movies.
Like I said, with age, it will slow down. He might miss a jump and die.
Oh yeah,
So
for
he
sure.
will need a stunt double if he continues.
He still has a stuntman now. I don't think he does much, but let's be honest.
He might do a little bit in it, but I didn't
He gets
notice
paid
it.
either way, I suppose. I guess that stuntman's got a good job.
What are your opinions on the water scene?
What scene?
Yeah, when he had all this fancy suit and he had to, like, on the submarine, he was trying to do all this shit and the entity shit.
Oh yeah, that's impressive. I'm pretty sure he was deep sea trained with I think it was the Navy or something. He can generally hold his breath, and I'm pretty sure with a lot of these takes, it's very unknown, but they do generally have to hold their breath and be underwater for long amounts
He
of
could
time.
have easily died doing that.
I know they like use massive swimming pools and stuff for the scenes, and it is warm water, but it doesn't make it any harder. He still has to do all of these things underwater. A lot of the props aren't added for CGI. The
No.
props aren't bombs, when there's bombs, but he still has to maneuver around everything.
and they could have easily crushed him doing it.
Oh yeah, it can go wrong more times than not.
I mean, Tom Cruise. I mean, I have to take my hats off here. He's got lungs of a God knows what animal has the biggest and longest lungs for the longest breath, but
A cheater,
he's got a biggest lung. He's got.
Well, that man has 9 lives for sure.
If Ethan Hunt has 9 lives, what the hell has Tom Cruise got?
10.
He's got 10, yeah. He's down to 9 now.
I don't know. He's had a couple of near misses in the last 2
He
movies.
has a couple of
He
near
might, be
misses.
he might be a few less.
He's definitely broke a few bones filming some of those
Well,
movies.
he's still got more than we have.
1,000%.
Oh yeah, I couldn't do what Tom Cruise does, and I'm.
I think we're all
I'm
down
not,
to about. I
you
think
know.
we're all down to about half a life.
Oh yeah,
And
for
the
sure.
man's got about 3 left.
That man's got about
I'd-
7 left.
I'd love to be able to try and do what Tom Cruise does,
We'd
but
be
at the
dead on
same
the
time,
first take.
me sitting here now, I'd love to be able to, my mind thinking that I'd love to be able to do what Tom Cruise does. But I think when you get to the point you're like standing on the building or you're about to do the run up, you're like, shit, no,
I know
no
he has-
anymore.
No,
No,
I'm not doing it. I'm quit. I
He
want my
does it
money
in a
now.
pretty safe situation, but still, there's not much room for error.
There is still a high possibility of death if one little thing goes wrong.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's not likely, but if it goes wrong, then yes, it's probably
I
going to
know
happen.
this. I know this. What I'm about to say is going to make me sound like a absolute big fat wuss. But I mean, there's me saying, I want to do what Tom Cruise does. I want to be a really decent stuntman. But I mean, we had this high jump thing, high school, and I jumped over it, and I landed like on my back, and that hurt.
And this
It
man
ain't-
does it
it
every
ain't-
day of the week for a
It
living.
ain't pretty.
High jump ain't pretty, no.
I was good at that's the only one.
The
of the only
calluses that
that
man
and
must have on
running,
his
the only
back.
good things I'm good at in sports, really.
I mean, I moan about the calluses I have in the bottom of my feet from the running and my hands from working on like.
Imagine the
boat
callus
yards
that
and
man
but
has on his back.
I know it's unreal.
Bloody hell. He probably got every aspect of his entire body. After that
I'm
movie.
surprised that man can still walk with some of the hits he must have taken over the years.
I know this is going to be a major turn, like complete change of topic, but we're now going to move on to someone on TikTok who I believe is so undeniably famous, and I want to say underrated. People have, they see him and there's so much hype around him. Have you heard of Steve Bracknell, Royal Oak FC?
I'm not sure if I have.
Name doesn't ring a bell.
I mean, this guy is wow. So he's a Sunday League assistant manager, I believe, and they've got their own website and it's free membership, and there's so much hype behind him. Everyone is just so. He's got his own cameo. I mean, this guy is just so. There's like no words to describe him. He is just so good at. He's so emotional, and he's just so good at it. And he's like, I don't know how to describe him. I think people who, if they do see this podcast, they will agree with me here. I think the only way you can describe Steve Bracknell is Royal Oak FC. It's the only way you can describe him. We'll move on a tangent since you two haven't heard of Steve Bracknell overly, which I am a bit disappointed in you both.
I'll have to have a look later for sure.
So
I'll have to look that up as well.
what other movie would we say we're looking forward to?
I don't think, past the Mission Impossible movie, there's many movies in cinema at
What,
the moment.
what was that one you wanted to watch?
Final Destination Bloodlines. I watched the trailer.
You got to show me
yesterday
that trailer.
morning, and that trailer was just, oh my god. I've seen all the movies before, and okay, I know number one's my favorite, and
But
it's
then it
the
fell
most
off a
obvious
bit,
one.
and hopefully this one
I wouldn't
goes out.
I wouldn't say it's fell off. It's just
It
mate,
did with 2
it's
and
just
3.
nah. I'd say the last one before this one, nah,
Yeah.
a bit nah. It's hard. It will be hard to top number one because it was just so many things happened at once. But this new one looks like it will be on the level
Oh
of
yeah,
number one.
it does look for sure amazing, but
I think the trailer is like, I'd like to believe the trailer hopefully will get so many people behind the movie because it just looks so good.
it does look good. I do have to
I've
say.
seen
but
pictures, but I haven't seen a trailer yet. And I want to bloody see
I-
it.
you
We'll
wanna
have to
watch
show you the trailer later.
I
You're gonna
will go
you
watch
wanna
that trailer later.
It looks really good.
I'm surprised you haven't already watched the trailer, considering.
I've seen the pictures and the actual banner for it. It looks brilliant.
Oh yeah, we'll have to show you the trailer after this.
I know we're sitting here and we're three grown men, to a degree, and you know,
Partially.
Disney is, you know, I don't want to be stereotypical here and
We're
say
talking
it's
about,
towards
the
little kids and
Stitch
that.
movie.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
it looks brilliant.
I know we're three grown men sitting here talking, and I don't want to be stereotypical, but Disney movies come across like they're for kids and that. But I'm sitting here as an adult, and I want to watch this Stitch movie.
You got to think of the effort everyone goes into behind the scenes to make everything possible. You've got to appreciate the artwork and
Don't
the
get me wrong.
effort.
I am more of a live action person.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So of these realistic movies, like proper actors now, not cartoons. I saw a bit of the cartoon, and I'm like, okay, not too interested. But I saw the trailer for this new Lilo and Stitch movie. I'm like, oh my god, this could be something that I would sit there and watch.
Oh yeah.
We hella need to watch this. I've seen the original one. I've always hated it. Seen this first time I saw the trailer with you guys a few months ago. Like, bloody hell, we're watching this next time.
Yeah, I think
It's
I think it is there's just something about it. I think there's something about how they brought Stitch alive.
Oh yeah.
It just
It's
makes
no
it.
longer a cartoon.
All that playful energy behind him
Now into the real world.
is amazing.
It is. I think I'm gonna say this. It's in the trailer, so people, when you watch the trailer, you're gonna see this anyway. I think I'm gonna look forward to watch the whole scene. But I think the favorite mini scene that I've seen on the trailer is the Mexican standoff between Stitch standing on the bar with the water thing,
What the
and against
Oh,
the little
yeah,
the
girl.
Coke thing.
Yeah, the lemonade Coke thing.
That
Everyone
was
knows
the
the
best
Coke
thing.
thing, but yeah.
And he gives a little growl like.
And he spins the thing.
He spins it and
then
sprays
sprays a
the
little girl
girl.
with it.
Sprays the little girl. Yeah, I mean,
It looks brilliant.
Oh, it is going to be an amazing movie for sure.
Ahana means family. I mean, that's just like. I think if you think about it, that probably could actually really. I don't know. That does sound like a quote that does hit hard.
Oh yeah, for sure. You might, then smack the lady with a fridge, but
But still, you got to piss
no
off
family
your
left behind at the end of the day.
Exactly.
The thing is, you can't live without pissing your family off.
No.
It's
Nah.
just fun though, about.
I
But
suppose
you don't
if
want to. But you don't want to smack your mother around the face with a fridge.
not with the door of the fridge. No.
No.
She might not like you after that.
You
for
don't
sure.
want to squirt a bit of Coke.
Not gonna,
Not on a
run
hot
down
day.
the
either.
house chasing her a lemonade or anything.
No.
But yes, Stitch gets away with it.
Coke and Mentos.
But it's Stitch, so we'll get away with it.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah, the human, you get away with it.
Yeah, Stitch.
Yeah, I think I generally think there are quite a few movies that are either out or going to be released soon that are actually looking really good. I mean, I've seen one come out and I think it's out now. When I heard of it, I laughed and thought, "Ain't no way this exists."
What is it?
But it's the new Peppa Pig thing that came out, like Peppa Pig's new sister, something like that.
Well, it's a movie. It's advertising at cinema.
It made me think like
I'm gonna go watch that and then do a review on that one.
it made me think
I
like
was going to say, we all know what the next review is now.
Peppa Pig.
we're gonna watch Peppa Pig and the Peppa Pig's new sister.
And then we're gonna come out like best movie you've ever seen, hands down.
It
Jack
looks
Mission
good.
Impossible.
And then the movie's probably gonna receive an Emmy.
No,
Or an
I mean
Oscar.
Tom Cruise is gonna get.
He's gonna get an Oscar.
He's gonna get something for this new movie.
He's
I
gonna
genuinely
get an
think
Oscar.
it is
I
really
hope
good.
he does. He
The movie's
deserves it.
brilliant. The movie is just.
Hands down, best Mission Impossible.
I've got to ask you a question. Considering you hadn't watched all the Mission Impossible movies necessarily before this, what did you think of the more recent one?
I think since the fact that I haven't seen all of them, I saw the first one.
Oh yeah, that's what I
then
wanted to ask.
I've seen bits of all the others, but I haven't really seen the whole movies. But I think this recent one,
That's brilliant.
it helps in a way for people that haven't seen the middle parts of the movies. It helps to tell the previous stories
Oh yeah, it does that really
into
well.
into this new story. It kind of helps to connect
It
the two
merges them all
stories.
into one.
It helps. I mean, for someone like me who's only seen the first one, and there are certain parts in the movie where you see, so that connects to that part, or
Yeah.
that connects to that part, or that now makes more sense.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the way Tom Cruise has done it, it's just
Oh yeah. It has been done wonderfully. It connects all the movies into one. If you haven't watched them all, you can go watch that one, and you will know what's going on.
Well,
I
I would
think-
advise watching at least one of them before watching this
Even
one.
without watching any of
Even
the
the
others.
previous one, that would be good to
But
watch prior.
it
But
didn't.
we didn't.
It didn't start as it ended before, so you
No.
could 100% watch that as a solo movie
And then understand what happened previously.
and
I
probably
think-
understand partly what happened previously.
But you
I-
should at least watch the first one, though.
I think if you are gonna watch this new one and you haven't watched any of the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movies, I think you'll need. I think,
The first one.
in my opinion, you're gonna have to watch number one, the first one, and then you can watch this new one, because there are certain people who are in the movie that, if you haven't seen number one, you won't know who they are.
I know, obviously, it makes more sense if you watch all of them. You could definitely get away.
But it'll
We've
take you
just
so
watched the
long
more
to watch
recent
all
one.
of them. As each one's about just under 3 hours
I was
long.
about to say, this one was nearly 3 hours long,
How many
but
movies,
it didn't feel
how many
3
movies
hours.
are there?
Fuck
7,
knows.
8.
Fuck knows, mate. That's
It's
just
gotta be
Well,
seven
well,
or
it
eight.
would take you a couple of days, though, if
There's-
you wanted to
There's
binge watch
definitely
it.
1, 2, 3. Dead reckoning, final. So there's at least 5, but there's a couple in between as well. So it could be 6 or 7, maybe 8.
I mean, like you said about it's gonna take a few days to watch and binge these movies. I think one series that I literally took me a bit under a week to binge is the whole season, like every single season, 6 seasons of Peaky Blinders.
Oh yeah,
I was obsessed.
I didn't even film that in order either.
No, I went. I would say now I'm obsessed with it because there's nothing been much. I mean, Cillian Murphy's doing his own stuff now, and it's fucking brilliant what he's doing. But I'm excited for the supposed rumors of the movie. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that. When I was watching the series, I was so obsessed with it. I was like, I would not go to sleep until I've seen a whole season.
Oh yeah.
I know
Yeah.
there's only like 5 or 6 episodes per season.
But it's
But
absolutely brilliant.
It is brilliant. I could watch a whole season.
But what do we think about Breaking Bad? Have you not seen much of that?
I haven't seen much of that. I never
haven't
really
seen
got
much.
into it.
I think I've seen the first 2 episodes. But that's it.
I've only saw the first season and a half.
I really, it
Well,
sounds bad,
Well,
but I
it
didn't
does
really get
catch
into
you with the
Breaking Bad.
first few episodes, though. It is really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think if you saw our previous channel and then you saw our first video, we said we are very I wouldn't say inexperienced, but
But
we are
inexperienced.
inexperienced in podcasting, but very experienced in talking and chatting. We are basically we want to come across as 3 lads who just sitting here having a chat and just having a laugh. Of course, today's podcast was not so much like that because we were reviewing the movie we watched last night. The next podcast will be, and we may have a guest, 1 or 2. But yeah, I mean, so don't expect a mad ending. We are. Thank you for watching or listening or wherever you're gonna hear this from. And please like, subscribe, share this to your friends, to your mamas, your fathers, and even your grandma. She might like this.
Even your school friends and school teachers.
Oh yeah, your
Every
teacher might
single
like a
one
good
does.
review of the Mission Impossible movie. You never know.
They might review it in class. They might do it for an English project.
What Mission Impossible?
Like kids, if you're watching this kid podcast, kids,
Just remember, Mission Impossible is 15.
That's 13, isn't it?
It's a 12A.
Is it?
12
12A.
yeah.
Fair enough. You probably could watch it in school then.
If you are watching this, kids, show this to your teachers and tell her or him or them, that I saw these lads. They spoke about Mission Impossible. They said it's really good. Can we do an English project or can we watch the movie? If you're persistent, from experience, if you're persistent to a teacher, don't say it loads in one day, but if you mention it a few times a day in one school week, eventually the teacher may give in.
And
May give
buy
in.
the movie.
May give in. Don't quote me on this, but the teacher may give in, and you might be able to watch this.
The guy on
So-
the internet said we should watch this and completely go off the curriculum, but can we?
Let's talk
Yeah,
about AI,
well.
and then they could do a project on AI. because it's
Exactly.
now
Oh,
a new
yeah.
thing.
So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this to all your
Make sure you
friends.
turn on notifications. So you don't
Turn
miss
on
a
your
future
notifications.
upload.
Click that little bell that's in the near the thumbs up. Please don't thumbs down because we are trying our
Also,
hardest here.
comment a word. Comment Tom Cruise if you made it this far in this video.
If you made it this far, Tom Cruise with a thumbs up, and we may, in a few episodes' time, if we start going up in subscribers, I think if we hit 10 subscribers, we will do a give out. We will do a give out to a subscriber, random subscriber. So thank you for listening, watching, like, subscribe, click the share button, click that bell, and everything. So thank you very much, and
Good night.
goodbye.